Today I'm coming clean. I know at times we start from the middle of our journey. We expect our followers, our listeners to understand where we're coming from. But I just want to come clean today. I want to go back to the beginning of the journey for me. First off, in the beginning, you have no idea what to do. I feel like I've said this before, but you clearly have no idea what to do. And you have a problem. For whatever reason, we always feel as if we can fix our problems better than anyone else. But if we could, we would not have a problem. The biggest challenge I see here, what happens to us is, what had happened to me, so I'm speaking from my journey, is you have so much information that you feel like you have enough information to move the needle for you. You try to work things out yourself, only to find out that you can't do it yourself. There were platforms that I went on that had the free options had limitations though. Limitations that would not allow me to give me access rather to features that I needed in order for my business to run a bit more seamlessly. So that's one thing, too much information, not knowing what to do with it. And then, of course, I didn't want to pay. I just didn't want to have to pay. But when you don't, when your problem is great and the results you need is greater, paying for what you need, not paying for what you need will be the biggest stumbling block. Because here's what happens. You will continue to have that problem. I had a mentor, and he has since passed away. He was my business coach, my partner in business. And he would always say to me, Anjanette, there are no shortcuts. Don't look for shortcuts because shortcuts does not exist. But you know what I did? I was looking for shortcuts. I ignored the professionals and was looking for shortcuts. A tip for you, don't ignore or the instructions of those who have made it to where you want to be. Don't ignore those instructions. There are no shortcuts. It's just like if in pregnancy, there are no shortcuts. The best thing to do is for a baby to come to term, full term, 9 months. And it's the same thing with us in business. There are no shortcuts. So what was the catalyst to me in this particular movement was just a desire to serve my customers at a higher level. So there has to be something that drives you to what it is that you really want. So wanting to serve my customers at a higher level, what actually that looked like was, and I say this often because in business, your goal is to serve your customers at a higher level, reduce the overwhelm that you feel. And the fact that if you're a solopreneur or if you're a head of the business that you own and you have and the persons working for you, employees, the goal is to make that experience with your business, with whatever it is that you're offering, flow seamlessly. That reduces the overwhelm that you feel in the office environment. Remove all the friction. And what I initially wanted was, of course, for my customers to be able to find me online. Whatever business that you're in, your goal is to have your customers find you wherever wherever they're looking. You have to be where they are, where they can find you. And then the next step for me, while that was impressive to my customers, because at that time I was leading the way in online scheduling in this industry, while that was impressive, it was almost like a technical gap between myself and my customers because it was new, it was different. So then I had to learn how to communicate that to my customers so that they can then feel comfortable. Because even when they had, in the early days, when they booked an appointment, they weren't sure if I saw it, even though they got a confirmation. So they would check me. I made an appointment and at that point, yes. So there is that gap also between the transition and your customers understanding that, yes, you're on the right path. So those were some of the things that I experienced in talking to business persons recently. I'm having the greatest conversations. It's the same gap, regardless of the business that you're in, regardless of the industry that you're in. You will have those gaps where your customer, your ideal client, may not know exactly what to do. The job is for you to fill those spaces. Not to lose where I am here today, I want to go back to the beginning. And the beginning of it all is just making doing business with you easier and seamless, both for you and for your client. So put measures in place to make sure that relationship runs smoothly. And so I mentioned about them booking an appointment and getting the confirmation. So whatever industry that you're in, make sure that you are also communicating with your customer on the back end. We would like to refer that to nurturing the relationship. So even though it looks like, yes, you have the information, you can get it done. No doubt you can get some of it done, but there are parts of the machinery that it would be best to just get someone to do it for you. And what you're actually doing then is you are buying back time, because the time it will take you to first understand, then apply, then test, integrate, implement, and test would be time that you would have lost a customer, lost a potential client, lost out on business, because you were trying to do everything yourself like me. You can't do everything yourself. And that's the biggest lesson that I had to learn. But your business is demanding a level from you that will require you to trust someone else. In this industry, in the beauty industry, the level that we came in on is a skill set level. It was not on a technical level. It was not on business management and marketing and strategy and communication and all of these other moving parts to a business. That's not where we came in. So now we're experiencing a little challenge with making that happen. There are what looks like shortcuts, but remember I told you there are no shortcuts. Not really. You can read a book on what somebody else is experienced, and they can share with you the points to get there, wherever your there is, quicker. But when I say shortcuts, what I mean is I tried a shortcut as well. Instead of reading this entire book by Russell Brunson, Traffic Secrets, I just wanted to go ahead and jump to chapter, whichever chapter it was that gets me there. But I didn't realize, I didn't understand, I didn't appreciate that it takes steps in order to get there. You don't just get there. You have to learn how to attract customers and retain them and nurture that relationship. So don't shy away from the one thing that is frustrating you right now, is the one thing that is calling you to make the decision to mitigate that frustrating point for you right now. That there can only be removed in most cases by either learning something new and implementing it, or engaging someone who can do it for you. That's what I had to learn. That's what I had to appreciate. And that's how I was able to navigate those early stages up to where I am today. So it's Friday. Happy Friday. I hope that helps, and have a great weekend.